Yes, the perfect person to figure out where we go from here. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, close friend to the president, also running for governor. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thank you for being with us. I think Brian sets it up perfectly. The Israelis freed the political prisoners from Evin prison. They took out IRGC headquarters. Why go back to the negotiating table with the Iranians now? Why give the Ayatollah any legitimacy?
Well, first, Leland, it is good to be with you. The first thing I would tell you is give the president room to operate. He has actually done a tremendous job throughout this entire conflict. I think there was an opportunity where he was trying to see, is there a way to have peace? And I think people need to understand what Donald Trump wants more than anything is to have peace. Now, he's not going to have peace while America's on its knees. He's not going to do that, but he does want to find a way to bring hostilities to a close. That's to be commended. But the other side is that Donald Trump is not interested in cutting a deal just to cut a deal. He's going to want to have a deal that's going to protect America's interests, it's going to protect Israel's interests, and bring peace to that region. If that can't be found, like he even said in the clip, then he's not even going to sign anything.
Okay,
but I think it's the appropriate thing to do right now.
I'm confused because we have peace right now, or we have the absence of conflict, but true peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the presence of many things, depending on which quote you want to use. I'm the favorite of the one from Air Force One. True peace isn't just the absence of conflict; it's the presence of justice. You can't have that with the Ayatollah. It seems as though the president believes that the Iranians can change their stripes, which just doesn't happen. Again, why be willing to negotiate with people that a couple of weeks ago or less he said were bullies who'd killed more Americans than anybody but Al-Qaeda and were the biggest bullies in the Middle East, and said that the regime had to go and demanded unconditional surrender? What happened to all that?
No, well, essentially what happened is that they have half of their missiles that they had before. They don't control their airspace. We just obliterated their nuclear sites. And so at that point, if the Iranians are trying to sue for peace, I think the prudent thing to do is to hear them out. But it is also prudent not to just take any deal that's on the table. And knowing President Trump, he's just not going to take any deal that's on the table. There are going to be key conditions that he's going to want to see. If they don't materialize, well, then Iran's got to deal with Israel on that one, and it's not been going great for them to this point. Now, in terms of regime change,
it just seems like we're at odds here, though, right? Because you've got the Israelis blowing up the entrance to Evin prison to let the political prisoners out, blowing up the Iranian Revolutionary Guard headquarters. We can all agree that if the Ayatollah and the Iranian regime falls, the world is a better place. And then you have President Trump allowing Iran to sell oil to China. I'm just trying to figure out how this fits with unconditional surrender.
Leland, I'm going to tell you again, Iran's in a very different place today than they were a week ago. That's a fact. Where they were 2 weeks ago.
Couldn't agree more. And
there's not been an American president. Hold on, Leland, hold on. There's not been an American president that has actually given a go-ahead to obliterate their nuclear program. He has done that.
Yes.
So when he's changed the entire table in terms of how you deal with the Iranians, especially when you consider the fact that the Russians and the Chinese, they're not coming in to save the Iranians, far from it. So now they're on their own. Give the president some room to operate. Let's see what occurs. But the president has been right on this issue. He's been right. He was right when he took out Soleimani. He was right when he put the sanctions on. He was right when he went and let our B-2 bombers take out those nuclear facilities. And so I think to what you're saying, or to your credit about how the media was looking for a reason to doubt the president, even they had to do an about-face this evening when all the evidence came out, all the intelligence started coming out. Give the president room to operate. I trust his judgment. The American people trust his judgment, and we'll see where we go from here.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.